Salesforce just wrapped up Dreamforce 24 and unveiled Agentforce, which is what AI is going to be moving forward. It's the third generation of AI. I'll tell you all about it today. Hey everyone, welcome to this episode of Salesforce for Recruiters. My name is Brad Owens, and I was just like you. I was a recruiter for well over a decade, working internal recruiting, external recruiting, and all the while I never really found technology that truly fit what I wished it could do for my organization. And then I saw Salesforce, and I went, where has this been all my life? And since then, I've been dedicating my career to helping both Salesforce and recruiters understand what this platform can truly do for recruiting. And today we're going to focus on what just came out a couple weeks ago at Dreamforce 2024. Dreamforce is Salesforce's huge event every single year. They bring, this year it was 45,000 different people all together to cover off what's new in Salesforce lands for the upcoming year. And this year they unveiled Agentforce. And what Agentforce truly is going to be their next generation of AI revolution. So let's dig into what this really is. The major announcement at Dreamforce this year was Agentforce. Now, what truly is Agentforce? Well, what Salesforce is calling this is their third generation of AI. You know, we had AI intelligence in the beginning that could kind of learn some things and maybe make some predictions based on that. You've used it in your autocorrect and things like that for many, many years. That's generation one. Generation two was more generative. So you tell it, here's the task you need to do, and then you ask it questions and it gives you potential answers for that. And that's essentially just a math algorithm for it. It's based on all these other things. Here's what I likely think is going to be next. This third generation and what they're touting as Agentforce is more of the autonomous agent style thing. So let's assume that you had something that you wanted to run autonomously that would help your business. So the use cases that Salesforce described were things like a incoming sales agent. So you could be a salesperson who could automatically have phone calls processed by an agent that had a voice, or maybe it's a chatbot or something like that. And it would process things based on what you wanted it to get from those conversations, if that makes sense. So if you wanted it to understand your buyer and understand the types of things that they're looking for, or in our case, understand your clients and what they're looking for, and then all of a sudden just get that in your inbox ready to go with a warm lead, that's more of what Salesforce is touting for this. So more autonomous agents. That's their third wave of AI, and what's got everyone really excited about this Agentforce. So what makes Agentforce truly groundbreaking, and why is this kind of that new third generation of AI, and why is it so exciting? So up until now, if you wanted to build something that truly had artificial intelligence, that took tasks off of your plate and was able to operate the way that you actually intended it to operate, and essentially replace yourself with some kind of autonomous agent, you would need to have tons and tons of coding knowledge. You need to understand different languages that you could then pass through large language models and then be able to interpret things and take actions based on that. It really took an engineering degree. Now what Salesforce has actually brought to market now is more of a end user experience to accomplish those exact same types of things. You can essentially, through a few different clicks and one very easy to use interface, create these agents that can then take all of these tasks off of your plate. So that's why this is so groundbreaking, is because this is taken from more of a coding approach to now Salesforce has put their clicks, not code behind it. And now you can make all of these agents with just clicks. As a part of this Agentforce announcement, Salesforce also announced some go-to-market partners. So it's not just the end user that has to build these things from scratch. Partners are actually able to build these autonomous agents that you can then use in your environment inside Salesforce. Asymbl was incredibly honored to be actually included in those launch partners. So we have brought to market the very first ever recruiter agent. So the Asymbl recruiter agent will be an agent that you can use inside your Salesforce environment to help you with various tasks of recruiting. Some of the things that we showed off in our demo, which I'll include below, are things like generated job description, auto matching candidates, understanding a hiring manager profile and what they look for, summarizing automatically all of the results of interviews, getting candidate notes sent to hiring managers, scheduling interviews, all of those things that kind of take up the administrative bulk of our day are turned into mere seconds and just a couple clicks because you have Agentforce working for you. So the Asymbl Recruiter Agent is built on top of Recruiterforce, and you're going to have the ability to take advantage of things like that. How then is Asymbl and Agentforce going to truly help empower your recruiting process? How is it going to speed things up for you? Think about all the time you and your recruiters spend on administrative tasks. Since my early days of recruiting, the bulk of my day has not been spent on what we know makes recruiters successful. Recruiters should be spending time developing relationships, building trust with both hiring managers and talent. We haven't been able to do that up until this point because we've been so focused on all these administrative tasks. We have a resume that we need to match up to a job description. We need to tweak job descriptions before we send them out to candidates and post them online. We need to tweak resumes before we send them out to hiring managers. We need to have the ability to ask very nuanced questions about a particular individual's resume, which means that we have to study that resume ahead of time. We have to go through the scheduling rigmarole. And yes, there's been tools that have come out to help that, but you still have to send all of these links and match things up to the right amount of time and sometimes move things around in your calendar. Then once we get to the point of presenting these candidates to hiring managers, there's all the administrative steps related to that. What we're talking about here is having autonomous agents built through clicks that are able to take these processes off of your plate. So now think about what you can do and your team could do when they can focus truly just on picking up that phone and building relationships with both hiring managers and talent instead of having to do all these administrative tasks. That's why I'm getting so incredibly excited about Agentforce and why I think this is the best thing to happen in recruiting in decades. It's going to give you the ability now to truly take advantage of what makes humans successful, and it's building trust and relationships and allow that administrative work to be handled by your Salesforce system. Now, this is Salesforce we're talking about. This isn't going to be a one and done release. Salesforce is known for continually innovating on top of their products. They release 3 huge releases a year, and in the upcoming releases, I'm truly excited about their new AI models that they're bringing out. They're going to have one that's called XGen Sales, which can truly help take people through a buying process because of all the data that's obviously inside of Salesforce. And then they're going to have their XLAM model, and their XLAM model is going to be that higher level of reasoning. Think about what an autonomous agent can do for you if they had that higher level of reasoning. If they didn't just take, let's say, for instance, an intake from a candidate where you're talking about their particular needs and their desires and what they're looking for out of something, and if you truly don't have something for them, why would you waste that time and say, great, we'll let a recruiter get back in touch and then never hear from you again? If you could then take the output of that conversation, run it through that autonomous agent, and allow them to make that decision then to say something along the lines of, hey, we don't particularly have things open in that line of business, or based on what I see here, you're actually earning a little bit more than everyone else in this field, so there's not going to be likely something we can help you with right now, or based on what you've told me, here are the things that I can do. Those types of interactions are what's going to be possible with the next generation of Salesforce's AI models. That's got me incredibly excited because, yes, it's nice to take things off our plate and to automate actions, but when we can start automating decisions, that's going to be that next generation that gets me incredibly excited. That's my quick take from Dreamforce 2024 and Salesforce's brand new Agentforce announcement. Now, as again, a part of that announcement, Asymbl did come out with the Asymbl Recruiter Agent. Depending on where you're watching this, I'll have the link for you in the comments or on the screen or wherever it might be. I'm going to make sure that you get access to the Asymbl Recruiter Agent and can see what's truly possible with Agentforce on Salesforce. It's got me very, very excited about what's coming, if you couldn't tell based on this video. But Agentforce, I think, is going to truly revolutionize the AI and what it can do for recruiting. If you're not paying attention to this, I really highly suggest you look into all of the announcements that came out of Dreamforce and start watching some of the demonstrations and think about how we can apply what they showed to the recruiting industry. Because yes, they showed it based on customer service and on sales, but a lot of what they're doing, it can be really tweaked to show the value in the recruiting world. So I highly encourage you to take a look at those. If you like this kind of content, there's plenty more at salesforceforrecruiters.com. I appreciate you watching this episode. If you've got a question on what Salesforce can do for you and your business and how I may have seen others use Salesforce for your kind of use case, please send them to me. The best email is hello@bradowens.com, or just send a little comment below. I'll be happy to answer those questions. I do viewer specials all the time, and I'm happy to take those questions from you. Again, if you want to find more content like this, it's at salesforceforrecruiters.com. That's all for this episode. I will turn you loose and see you on the next one. Bye.